All right, go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, so we did 2.9,
Okay,
which is password must be 8 characters and requires one uppercase, yeah. But for the test scenario itself, we had the validator, which is having a password which is 8 characters, which has the uppercase and a lowercase. And then we had a negative scenario which has a password character which is not 8. So
this is the positive one.
Negative.
So this is the negative one.
This is a negative
Yeah,
scenario.
so the one we tested, the one we've written down here is the negative one.
Okay, so on your test title, right? You should reflect what exactly it's supposed to be.
I think you have that in your summary. Personally, you need to have it in summary.
Yeah.
You have it in your summary. If you scroll it down and just saw it. Okay, scroll on it. Okay. So what?
Wait.
Your
Okay, it's good.
Okay. So you have it in summary, right? Your summary doesn't match to your test title.
Okay.
It should also just say it's that like it's validate the system does not accept 7-character password. That's what you need to put it up.
It needs to be clear because this is what it goes in the, it will tell somebody what exactly you are testing.
Okay.
Okay,
And then for the precondition, we said like a site admin user should already use it.
okay,
That's the access you need to create a new user.
okay, so site admin exists, that's your precondition,
Yes.
okay, that's
And then
fine.
the text summary, as he just read, validating if the system accepts a 7-character password when creating a new user.
Yeah, okay. I mean, let's pay attention here. You guys will have your chance to correct it, but let's pay attention because you guys will need to write the singular test case. Okay, I mean, so let's just pay attention.
Now, one other thing that you need to do that, right? I understand you're trying to use the generic users, right? But in the summary or at least in the description, you have to say which specific user you're trying to create it. And then if there is a prerequisite in the summary. So you're not just creating generic user, right? It is going to be either dealer user or lender.
Yeah.
To that.
This is lender.
So in your prerequisites, you also need to identify the lender exists.
Okay, creating,
Because without that, you can't even try to attempt to create the user, right?
so any lender user.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Okay.
And the precondition needs to include,
Put it the lender exists.
yeah,
Okay.
because without lender, you cannot create a lender user.
Okay, so you go to the website, you log in as site admin. The page, the expected results is the page opens. And then
Okay.
you go to manage users.
Okay, now, what is expected when the site admin logs in? Now, page will open, is any page will open? Is that what we are saying?
The site admin page will open, is that what I have?
So I would probably just say is you need to break it down into 2 pieces,
Okay.
right? Go to the website, then you go provide the user credential login. So remember how we had done the login?
Yeah.
There were 2 steps. When you're writing it, if you're just writing a logical steps, this is okay. But if you're writing a specific test case, I would break it down into a specific and says, see, you have, because you have, the first one is page opens. Well, what does page open mean? You have to be explicit that you go to the application homepage, and then when you log in, you're successfully logged in and opening a site administrator landing page. That's what you need to be specific about it.
Okay, and
And
then,
again, we can fix it later, right?
oh, okay.
So let's just continue,
That's
but you
fine.
understand that that's what you need to do.
Okay. All right, and then log in as site admin, page opens, and then you go to manage user.
Okay,
In trying to create a new user, the manage user page. I'm not too sure how the wording for, I'm still learning how the wording for the expected result side should.
No, manage user, yeah, it's
So the
fine.
manage user page opens, that's how we put it.
Yeah.
And then you create a new user and then this is where we specify that it's landed.
so I would not just put that is lender, right? I would just say create a new lender user,
Okay,
right? But again,
okay,
you have to give it instructions, what is you expected, you can just, this is a logical step that you already create a lender user, right?
okay,
You have to say what data you're gonna provide, right? So create a lender user using the data. Put it into the data section.
okay,
Right? Just because, think of this way, if you give this instruction to somebody who has no clue about the system,
okay,
can they follow the steps?
no.
Right, that's the
So
key.
we have to write it, I
Measure
said,
your
a
design.
third party will be able to pick it up and be able to follow the steps.
Right, or 6 months later, you don't remember what all field I needed for that,
Okay, so that's when they feel and get it, okay.
right?
So you create new lender using enter data of lender and then enter 7 character
Yes,
password.
so 4 and 5,
Mhm.
think about it, are they 2 different steps? Or they are 1 step?
So here, I think what he's trying to do in the fourth is,
I think I was trying to say.
create a new
password.
lender, by pressing some button
Okay,
click
so
or
then
something.
be more
right?
specific to that, right?
Okay.
That in step 4,
That's
you
what it
just click on create a new lender button. And then it just says a blank, create a user form opens up.
Opens up, okay,
And then you go and says create that.
create that, okay,
So for step number 4, your expected would be not lender page opens, create new lender. Basically
Create a
screen
new user
opens
page opens.
with the blank information or something like that, right?
So
Because you
page
need to
to,
fill out details.
if I say page to create a new lender is displayed.
It's displayed, but is it in a
Is it
blank
in-
state or is it in,
Oh, so we need to-
what, you need to provide something over there, right?
Okay.
So that you can validate it.
okay. And then we'll give an example of how a 7 character password you would use in this case.
Okay,
And then the expected results is that the system would display. We're not sure whether we say unable to submit or.
yeah, generally it will give you
Oh,
error
give
and
an
you will
error
not be able to submit. Yeah, that's how most of the systems are designed.
Okay, so one of the things I would not put it as example, right? I would just put specific, use this data.
Okay,
Okay. Right? Use pass at 12 as a password.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. The intention is when you're giving test case to somebody, don't make them guess,
okay,
right? It has to be unambiguous. Specific instructions that they can just blindly follow it. And then specific expected results that they can verify. Did I meet or no? Simple yes or no.
and then I think you mentioned it, but I didn't detail it, when it comes to the test data. Site identity credential,
Okay,
and then data for the new or the lender, the new lender
Yeah.
using. But I should not be specific.
I would explicitly identify all of the fields that you need.
Okay, first name, last name, address.
well, including lender,
URL, everything.
including lender as well, because you, which lender you are creating user for.
Which lender you want to select it, right? Because you said lender exists,
Okay,
which lender exists? And what exactly that ID or name or whatever that.
okay,
I think you got the logic to construct, right? Just to flush it out in the right details.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what we have for this.
Okay, what other one you have?
Um. Which one? The other one was 2.8, sites admin can create any user.
I think that's a very similar to the other one that you have.
Create the user, right?
It's the same thing, right?
No, it's just site administrator creating.
For creating a user, okay. And what's the third one?
It was the same, but we chose 2 different, so one is, so and well, for the tree for that one was. You create a lender, you create a dealer, and then you create like the various
Okay,
users, so we just created 2, one for a dealer and one for a lender. So those 2 are kind
same.
of similar.
same, so
Yeah.
that doesn't count. Okay, that doesn't count. So you guys need at least a few more.
Walk through it for the password, right?
Yeah. So very similar to that, right? So we want you guys to pick the different requirements, okay? When you create the test cases, make sure you pick out the different requirement. That's what is gonna give you some idea what things you need to do.
Oh, okay, I get what you're, I didn't, we didn't even think about it, I'll move it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, but I get what you're saying now.
Okay. All right, so you can stop sharing.
Oh,
I'll have somebody else present there, what they have and let's see where we go from there, okay? So which team wants to go? Yeah, go ahead and share it then.
okay. I'm still working, I'm still typing.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Please, okay, we'll share.
Maybe, yeah.
Which is not a good discussion in detail.
So who is sharing?
Southern Nation.
Okay, let's go ahead and share. I think we reviewed this on earlier, right? We already reviewed this. You updated this one with the what is exactly same. So anybody from your team wants to share?
Basically, we just put the things in details.
Okay, so you added the details?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
We need to, can you just increase the font size?
Or if you close out this one, the sidebar, then it will pop up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I was making sure I don't need it.
All right, let go ahead, guys. Yeah,
Okay.
let's see what you guys have.
Invalid user, okay.
Let's do this.
So
the
case number is that.
Priority is higher. Right?
Oh, you cannot log in. Let's hold off on that. Let's pick the different one.
Not this one, not.
How about you?
Which one you have? I thought you had the dealer. Cannot access one. Can you?
Franchise number is greater than one dealer.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it. That's a little bit.
This is the scenario.
Okay,
So.
guys, let's pay attention here. Guys, let's pay attention here.
What's the test number again?
So requirement is to
1.61
Yeah.
and requirement 1.3.
franchise number, each dealer is assigned a unique franchise number.
Unique franchise number requirement.
Okay, 6, 2.
Okay. And what is your scenario? What are you testing here?
In multiple users, it has unique auto number.
Unique
So
also.
there are more than one dealer exist in the same state and county.
Okay,
Is that the one that you selected?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
So. We have valid dealer info and the Arfloan existing.
Okay. Valid dealer.
You don't need the first one. The precondition, it's not about the valid dealer info, right?
No.
What you need to validate is there is another dealer exists in the same county and state. That's what you're looking for.
Actually, for dealer info, they said Arfloan should exist.
No.
The first one.
So
is-
you already have put that condition, right?
Yes.
The having valid dealer info, that's your data section. What data are you using to create the dealer? So that's not a precondition.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what we are verifying, right? If we have more than one dealer.
Right, more than one dealer in the same county and state, that's what you're validating, right?
Yeah.
not users, dealers.
Have two
Dealer
dealers
in the same.
State and county.
county.
It already exists in the system, right?
You need to say, you need to be very specific on your, yeah, explanation here.
Posting in the system.
Right.
And then you have RFREP existing for RFREP user or RFREP existing. Well, what are you trying to say over there? RFREP existing for the dealer? What does it mean?
No, for any dealer, RFREP is a requirement.
Yeah,
Nothing to do
so-
with your test case, right?
So it's.
I don't know why you have it unless you explain why you need this. Or what is the purpose of this?
For creating a dealer, we have to have the RFREP existing in the system.
Yeah.
For the system design.
Are you saying the RFREP user is logging in and creating a dealer?
Yes.
So
that's
RFREP
when we
user
create the
exists.
franchise number, right?
RFREP user exists in the system. That's what you are trying to say, right?
No, to create the dealer,
User. Dealer.
No, hang on, Virginia. So what Harshal is asking, right? So you have to be very precise in precondition wording, right? You're saying the RFREP existing for the dealer, doesn't make any sense. What you're trying to do it is, hey, I need to have an RFREP user who's gonna log into the system and create the dealer, and when the dealer is created, that RFREP ID is gonna be assigned along with that dealer, right?
yes,
That's what you are saying.
So
Okay.
you need to say it's RFREP user exists in
Exists
the
in that
system.
system.
That's what it should be. Exists in the system.
So you want to
Exists,
create a dealer.
Right, not existing, exists.
Yeah. So in order to create a dealer, you will need RFREP user to log in
no,
and
we don't need two dealers already existing. We have one dealer and now I'm creating another
So
dealer.
then just put that,
Generate
have a
the
dealer exists in the system.
okay. Okay, so you already have a dealer exists in the same state and county,
Yeah.
right? That's what, which is fine. You can reword it. Yep.
So RFREP user creating dealer user, is that right?
Not dealer user,
When you
dealer.
create a dealer.
Dealer.
you
User
will
creating
assign
dealer.
it.
Setting up a new dealer in the system.
Okay.
So that there is a franchise number that needs to be assigned. So they will validate. Okay, so let's see, take a look at your test summary. Okay, calculates or assigns, right? Assigns a unique franchise number. As to state, to county, 3 or.
So Julian, so you have to be clear in your wording.
Yeah.
This is not clear. Right?
So how would you reword it? Anybody want to take a
So
stab at it?
this case, test case validate that, maybe.
Yeah, what are you validating?
Validate.
You are validating that
So-
unique franchise number is assigned
Right.
to a second dealer
Dealer.
when there is already existing dealer in the same state and county, Yeah. right? So you just need to reword it, okay? You just need to make it so that your test case is clear.
Okay.
Looking at your post condition, so now you're gonna reword the test summary, right? But the post condition, is it the unique franchise number is created? Is that post condition? Or a dealer is created with a unique franchise number?
Dealer is created. With unique.
Because unique franchise number is just one of the attributes of the dealer.
number.
Okay.
Dealers can be franchise number.
Okay, so you have state Ohio, tell your test data is state Ohio, stop ID.
So what are you missing here in your test data?
All the way back into.
Required fields are shop ID, dealer name,
And the-
email.
You're still missing something.
that number, that
Unique.
auto generated number,
That's not
but
the
that's not a, we can,
Okay,
We
So-
don't have it, it's auto generated.
it's auto generated.
no. what username and password you're providing? Is that for the RFREP or is that whose user ID?
Oh,
password?
okay.
So you are saying here, super admin, right? This credential is for super admin, not for the RFREP.
Arfrep user, that's what.
If you are saying RFREP user is logging in and trying to create a dealer, then you should provide the RFREP credential, not the super user.
They changed it.
Okay, super user exists.
And you have to remove the
The
word.
Arfrep.
No, we need the Alfred to create.
To assign, yeah, which is
You need to
fine.
still put that RFREP ID into the test data. Otherwise, which one I'm gonna assign to?
So you need to add another user ID that RFREP exists in the system, right? This, in order to match this, you need to add another
Because now
line.
you change the test case, saying that super user is creating. Don't keep changing the test case.
RFREP, whatever RFREP you have, it, right? Credential, yeah. So you just need the login name, something like that, that exists, okay? All right, let's scroll down. Where are your actual steps?
What is site manager?
Super user.
So super user homepage is displayed, right? Yeah. I mean, if you are using the term, I mean, you can use it interchangeably, but if you stick to the one homepage is displayed, right? That's what you mean.
Yeah, but be explicit, put the sentences. Don't put the one or two words. No, scroll up. Let's just read through it.
I still think these are some of the logical steps, yes.
Okay, so why you're creating a dealer user?
It has to be on the.
No, you're creating a dealer, not even a dealer user.
So just click on create dealer, dealer user.
Again, same thing, the empty dealer page is displayed where you can enter the information, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes I get a little confused when we are trying, like, with the way we try to separate dealer from a dealer user.
So think about it, right? It's a company and an employee working in the company. She's creating the company in the system,
Okay,
Not the employees.
not the person working at the company,
okay.
right? Because the franchise number is unique to the dealer, not to the people working at the dealer.
Okay.
So we are not creating that.
It's creating the company, right? It's creating the dealer, Germain Honda, not, she's not creating a Bob Smith who is working at Germain Honda. She's creating a Germain Honda.
Okay.
Actually, I was creating both of them.
Okay, so your test case is not complete, so I think we'll hold off on the reviewing this one. And we'll come back to that. I'll let you guys modify it on your own, because I think this one you need rework,
Okay.
okay? So let's see which one you reviewed as a team and corrected. That's what we're gonna review.
Here's one thing that, like, remember what I said on last Sunday. When you write the test case, give it to somebody else. Don't explain them what you're doing.
Oh, gotcha.
Can they read through it? And can they execute it? If they cannot, and if they have 2 or 3 questions, that means you have missing information in your test case set or expected results.
Does any of your team member, do you guys have reviewed one
Could be out of the.
ready for review?
Could be somebody else, right? You need to be ready.
Okay, so we'll hold off on your team, then you make sure you review each other's, okay? I mean, don't just write it in, because that's gonna create a lot of issues. The issue meaning, I mean, no, not gonna be flushed out. All right, your team has reviewed everything, everybody else, okay, let's go and present.
So I have a
Yeah, because. we need to-
concern, maybe like after we all create like 3 from that team, 3 for our team, 3 from that team, we have 9 test cases, right?
No, you have three, still have 3, it's their test case, the team.
No, what
Yeah.
I'm saying is total, we have
Yeah.
9 test cases. Maybe we can share our like test cases.
Yeah, you can share, I mean, but we want you to write it as individually as well as,
Yeah.
right? So that you understand what you are writing.
Right.
Well, the work is class, learning is individual. So that's why you need to write it.
Right.
Okay, let's pay attention here, guys. You can work
Can
through
you
afterwards.
expand
We'll get you
the,
some time to fix certain things.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So actually, Joyce created this one
Okay.
well last week and we tried to edit them today.
All right. So I'll let the Joy speak for it, since you are the one who created it.
You speak today. There's no going to speak, okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, because you can explain it, right? I mean, what you wrote. Team has reviewed it, provided feedback, you guys work together, but
So this is the one that is about the learn that cannot be modified, it's just a read-only text application,
okay.
yeah.
I think we reviewed this on Friday, but
Yes.
it was logical steps, so now you put the more details, right? Okay.
Can
Okay.
you forget sometimes?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, we all get old, so. So,
Okay, so the steps is the test title is when lender assess a credit application is to display read only,
okay,
yes.
all right.
Yeah.
So your preconditions are what?
What conditions are the dealer user is existing in the system,
Okay,
the lender is also existing in the system,
okay.
and the credit application is also in the system.
Oh, so you have everything exists? Okay,
Yes,
So I have a question, but I'm gonna hold on to asking that question until I see your stuff.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So then we don't have any dependencies because everything is in the system, so.
then why you have user credentials?
We have a user credential is the dependency. I write it down next.
No, there is
Why
no
do you have
dependency.
dependency and credential? You already says that it exists. That's the data.
This is the data. You don't write it as a dependency.
So we are dependent on the user credential, right?
No, dependent. Think of it, dependencies outside the system.
Okay.
Multiple
Okay, we
systems.
already have. it.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So test summary is that the dealer user logged into the system successfully and verify that the credit application, when the lender gets it, is just read only, but cannot be found.
So this is confusing.
Okay,
Yeah, on the one side, you say dealer is logged into the system,
yes,
and then the other side, you say is that the read only is for the lender.
okay, so I thought that when the dealer submits the application to the lender, then he goes back and makes sure the lender has it read only.
So think about it, what exactly you're testing. You don't care when dealer created the request or not, right? All you care is when a lender has a request and they log into the system, it's read only for them.
The credit application is
Right.
always read only.
Okay,
for
so
lender.
now.
So
I
that
don't
has
get-
nothing to do with the dealer logging into the system.
Okay, so. So it's just that now we are working with one person, just the lender alone, not the dealer, is that right? Just the-
Well, I wanna see your steps.
Okay.
Oh,
the
yeah,
steps is- Okay, the steps is that the lender, since I don't need the data, the lender log into Arfloan
Mhm.
and home is displayed,
Okay,
and then the lender will change it, the dealer to the lender. So now the lender, the home is displayed, and the lender use his credentials to
Okay.
log into his homepage.
all right.
So
Dollar log
the
in.
homepage came.
Yep.
So because we are going to change the dealer to only lender. So
Okay.
and the lender homepage came, he saw the application is submitted.
Wait, but your step number 2 says you are logging in as a dealer, right?
It's creating a new credit
Yeah,
application.
you-
That's why I wanted to
because
not
that's what-
question that yet.
Yeah, that's what he was saying that, the last time when I read it.
No, which is good, which is good. I mean, I like it, okay? The
Yeah.
way you have it is
So,
correct.
yeah, so now I'm using the lender because we are
Sure,
changing
sure.
the dealer to the lender right now.
Okay.
So number 2, instead of the dealer, it's supposed to be the lender user account. And when the lender logged in his account, it displayed, it took him to his homepage.
Why you are changing anything? This is correct,
This is-
what you
that's
have.
correct, Yes.
These steps are, this is
There's
correct.
only one clarity. On step number 3,
Mhm.
in the expected, results, right? So you're just create a loan application, click. It's not with all the requirement, right? You're creating a new loan application button. And the display, it's gonna display an empty loan application.
Oh,
form.
empty loan.
Then number 4, you're putting all the data. And clicking submit. Remember, everything has to be in action,
Okay,
right? You're submitting that, an application is submitted successfully.
so, okay,
Then you're logging it out as a dealer, right?
yes,
Scroll it down, I wanna see the next
So
steps.
4 is good, right? Well, I don't have to change anything, right, on 4?
4 is good,
Okay,
okay?
5,
Okay, then you logged in, okay, lender user, and then click on that. So your steps are, okay. The 7th step, you may have to reword a little bit, right? Because you're not verifying the loan, you're just pulling up a credit application. And then the expected results, that's when you're verifying that I can't change anything. Okay, the steps, in general, the steps are in the right direction.
so after the number 7, steps is verifying, and
No, step is viewing the application.
okay, understand.
So
As soon as I'm verifying, I can't change anything.
always it's an action, what action user is taking and what are you verifying, what are you expecting, that goes in the expected, or what you need to verify. Yeah, this is the action by the user on this side, left side.
I can fix that. So, okay,
Is everybody on the same page? Did everybody understand? What we
Yeah,
talked
I understand. I was just trying to find out, can you take us back a little bit to the first, I wanted to see your 3 conditions. again.
Yeah, precondition is incorrect, her precondition.
Actually, since she's creating a dealer user, it's okay. Scroll it up.
Okay.
Scroll up, please.
Scroll up,
oh,
up.
right. Steps.
No,
Go
the
up.
precondition.
Go ahead.
Precondition.
The third one is credit application exists, it's not a precondition because you're creating it.
Yeah,
So
okay,
take
that's
it
what I
out.
wanted to
Yeah.
get.
The dealer and lender user exists is the right precondition.
Okay,
So that's
Okay.
2, okay.
Alright, I'm good now.
It scroll down, I think there is a specific part missing, right? So.
Steps?
Yes, steps,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so here you create the loan application, but they were assigned here because that's the important part. Which lender?
Number 4.
Number 4.
I know, but okay, choose a lender one,
Yeah.
right? Submit, okay. So you said that lender one exists,
yes.
That's what.
or you said lender exists?
Lender exit.
You have
Well,
to
you
change
need
it
to
to
say-
lender 1 exists.
Okay.
You also need to say lender one exists, basically.
Not user.
So,
Lender 1 exists and a lender user also.
Also exists,
So both needs to be there.
both needs to be there, so that you can say, I'm assigning credit application to lender one. And now lender user, which belongs to lender one, logs in and they can work through on the application.
And then the lender exists. Okay, so
So again, lender user
Mhm.
working for lender 1 exists.
Right.
That's what you need to do.
Do we have to write dealer exist as well, or dealer user is okay?
Yeah, dealer user is fine
Okay.
because it's somebody who logs in.
Right. Because you're not worried about dealer user, because the dealer exists, dealer user exists, there must be
There
some
already
dealer.
Dealer, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this one. So, and view.
So think around it, right? Logical step. If I give it to you, can you exactly follow that without going? Like it's so, right now, the way you've written your step 3 and 4 is confusing. Right? So 3 is essentially opening up a new form to fill it. 4 is I'm filling that form and clicking submit. With the data, right? Obviously, you haven't specified the data, you need to specify all the data,
Okay.
right? And the expected result is application submitted successfully and assigned to lender 1.
So today's exercise was to fill the data,
Right.
which you don't have it, everything here. Because one thing, major important part missing is what application and what are you verifying when you log in as a lender? Because this guy submits it, when I log in as a lender, can I see any application and pull up? Or can I see that specific application and pull up the information? So you need to be very specific here, note down application ID created. And in the step number 7,
Use that. ID.
use that ID to verify that I cannot read that application.
Okay, application ID number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Application ID. Note down the application ID that is created basically.
So we just have to come up with anything, just.
Yeah,
No, not anything, whatever the system creates, that's why you're saying. Whatever the app, when application submitted successfully, right?
The system.
And says, note down the ID
Of that.
for that application. And then in step 7, use that ID.
To verify it, open the application and verify that nothing is,
Okay, okay.
everything is read on.
Do we have to merge that number 3 and 4? Or should I?
No, they're still two separate.
Oh, okay.
The two is three is open and read, and then number 4 is the action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So
the-
think of this way, right? Have you used Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
First time you went in, you created an Amazon user, right? And then when you go in, right, it's displayed all the forms and everything to put all of your information.
Right.
Right, so when you're saying it's like create a new user when you're logging into Amazon, right,
Right,
first time?
right.
Sign up or whatever they sign up that,
Register.
right, what happens when you click on sign up? So that's what that step number 3 is, click on the sign up or click on create the new application. What happens? A blank application form opens up, right?
Yes.
So I just
And
have
then in
to-
the next step, you go in, populate all the information, and you say click create,
Okay.
and then it creates the account,
Okay.
right? That's all exactly you're doing in step 3 and 4, creating a blank application,
Okay.
a blank application form display.
Yes.
Then at step 4, you're going and populating all of the credit application information and clicking the submit.
Okay.
That's when the application gets created.
Okay.
So then expected results, this application submitted, this application is created and submitted successfully, or just submitted successfully, it's okay.
So created and submitted successfully, and then you note down the ID, because you're gonna use that ID in the subsequent steps.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
great.
so I'm just picking it up from
Sure.
what you've said. So let's assume that in the precondition, they had stated that loan application 1 already exists. That means in the same test plan, you would have to skip 1 to 5 and then start from.
they can, but it's not gonna be repeatable because application ID is a unique generator, system generated number.
Remember what are the characteristics of a good test case? It's repeatable and predictable. Right? If, since this is a read only, it may work,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
But if you're trying to like
Yeah.
create a new one. And every time its ID changes, then you can't just simply say that, right? Because every application is gonna have a unique ID.
Okay.
That, this is a more preferred way
Yeah.
so that you can make it repeatable
Okay.
every time. And when you go to automate, this is what's gonna help you
Mm.
to automate appropriately.
Because I thought maybe with the idea of redundancy. You probably.
Okay,
have
I would never. So again. You have to think around the right balance. Can you repeat it? And if the answer is no, then that means you need to put additional details.
All right, so I think you guys still need some work, okay? I don't think you guys have, especially we want you to flush out some of the test cases on your end as well. And I think, what else, are you guys ready to review the second one? We can review it, if it's different. I know you guys have the similar one. What test cases you guys have? What test case you have?
We have another one.
So let me ask you a question. When you review it, based on the 3 cases that we reviewed, do you feel that you need to refine?
The one that we did.
It's a different scenario. It's a different scenario. I don't know.
Let's
I
walk
can
through
show
it.
you short like.
Just pull it up, let us see. Because while we are reviewing, right, see if it's different or what you have. Let's see.
So no one has, the credit application change the status, no one has displayed this one, right? Yeah.
No, but let's go ahead.
Let me go to the steps.
No, go precondition.
Step precondition. I'm gonna give it this one. Sorry, I just put user credentials. If it is
Can you expand it so it's easier to read it? for-
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So test
We
time.
have the same one.
All right, so then you can, what we discussed, let's see what you guys have, you can flush it out based on the discussion.
Not the lender users, right? The second one is lender user.
First, like, okay, lender exists and lender. So first,
Mhm.
lender exists. Okay.
Lender user associated with that lender exists. So you wanna make sure the lender user.
One where you can approve a request, that's what the section is.
Approval with J's credit.
Yeah, that's the requirement.
Dealer dealer user associated with that dealer exists, okay, because you don't want to pick any other dealer's users. They're not gonna be able to perform the work.
This is something new that we are putting, because we didn't put these associate thing previously.
It just makes it clear.
Okay.
But you understand, right, what we are trying to do here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So question, lender is, click on it, lender exists. Lender user applicable for lender exists. Does that make sense? User exists.
So then let's look at the steps and then we'll come back,
Okay.
because I think there are some redundancy that you may not see,
Yes.
but let's look at.
Okay.
Okay. I was sorry, I'm so.
Yeah, the details are missing here, right? Some of this is a logical steps you have it, but,
Right.
okay.
Now, if you think around it, right, just the one that you reviewed it. The first 6 steps are exactly same,
Yeah.
right? What we talked about,
You can copy paste from that.
the only next step you have to do it is changing the application status.
So you submit the application, now you go as a dealer and you pull up the same application, you change the status. But. So you skip up to that, you make sure you use your step matches to the other one, okay, this one you need to flush it out here. But let's go to the bottom afterwards, what happens? Okay,
Again, you have to like to go back, refer to whatever the application ID was created, so that's what you're doing.
same application ID, you can use it. in all-
We can copy that same
Yeah.
steps,
Same
just change the
Yeah.
thing like status.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically change the seven step, number 7, pull up the same application
Right,
ID.
right.
Go approve it, right? And then you log in as a dealer and then verify that status is approved.
So again,
Yeah.
here, you have to be very careful, if you're like doing it, log in and log out as a dealer, no. Log in as a dealer user,
Yeah.
log in as a lender user.
User, specific, okay.
You need to be explicit of what you're
Okay.
doing,
Gotcha.
and not just any dealer user, right? You need to
Right.
provide specific
Yep.
data in the data section.
Okay.
Do you have the data in the data section?
I don't think so.
Okay, you got to start getting into the habit of putting all of the test data in the data.
Yeah, I don't think it's a test case is complete, basically, this part
Right,
is missing some information, so I mean, we reviewed it logically, but you need to flush it out.
So in test data, do we have to put like ID and password thing?
Well, you can put the ID part of it, what user you're logging in, right? Where that information comes from.
Like the
Right.
first one.
So lender user ID, password,
Yeah,
dealer user
Dealer
ID.
user ID password and the actual application
Application
information,
ID.
yeah, you're filling out.
Right. Yeah, we are getting it.
Yeah,
Slowly.
yeah,
Slow but sure, right?
okay, so you can stop sharing,
Yeah.
basically, yeah. Okay, so you have few more to work through. I think you guys gonna need some more things here. So let me tell you what exactly each team needs to work on, okay? Because I want you to work through, I have not seen some of those test cases, so I wanna make sure you guys have those. So I wanna see 2.12, so which team wants to pick the 2.12? I think you need the URL, right? So those details.
Yeah, because.
Yeah.
Again, I would follow the 2 steps that we talked about. In
Go to the
login.
URL,
Those 2 should be
open
standard.
browser, go to the URL. And go to Arfloan application, URL, whatever. Yeah. So those are 2 steps technically, right? But you can split it up, yeah, alright, okay.
So,
Okay.
new, we are starting a new credit application.
Is displayed.
Yeah, okay.
And then you enter the application data. The
Okay,
credit application,
all right,
and then here is a question.
sure.
We have a doubt basically. Once the credit application data is entered, does the dealer go ahead and save the credit application, or does he go ahead and submit the application? So there is no, so we were not clear.
Yeah, there is no draft application or anything,
Okay.
right? And once this do it, it's a pending at that point, so
Okay.
it really the submit or save, whatever they do it, but
Okay.
it will be submitted or saved.
Okay. So once the application data is entered, application would be submitted to the
Yeah.
specific lender ID.
Yeah. Okay, so you're picking out the specific lender, right?
Lender ID.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's
fine. Yep.
Then the dealer user will log out just for the validation part of it.
Okay,
And the dealer user will log out as a dealer user, and then log in, the lender would log in.
okay, let's finish the step 3 and 4. Okay,
Okay,
so credit application saved and collected application ID. So you are noting down application ID, that's what you are saying?
yeah,
Okay, collected application,
That's
that's
fine. I
fine.
would not use the word collected, right? It says credit application is submitted successfully. And note down the application ID.
Yeah, it's a English
So I said,
word, but it's a little bit different, yep.
Yeah. Those things are not there, right? So all you're doing is click to submit the application, not save the application.
click to submit. Save, instead of save, here, click and submit. Okay.
The credit application ID will be generated once you submit. Not before that,
Automatically done.
okay? Generally, that's how, because there is no point to generate the IDs before it's actually saved or submitted.
You will submit, right? And submit the credit application.
to submit credit application.
Yeah.
So,
Noting it down, right? Because think around steps you're performing, click the submit.
Yeah,
Noting down happens in the expected result.
Expected result.
okay,
Once it's created successfully, then only you can get the application, and you cannot get without that.
submit. And the expected result to your application is.
One thing you're missing is, right, you're like just writing a generic, all the credit application data, get into the habit of specifying another by the ID.
okay. Alright, so you're noting down the application ID. Generated, okay.
Okay.
So you are logging out as a dealer user. So you're done as a dealer,
Login to your lender email account.
okay, so log into the lender's email account. Okay, specify lender specific.com,
And then
okay,
lender can see the email.
yeah, okay. So now you have application ID C001, but do you know it's gonna be C001? Right, so whatever application ID was generated, that's the ID you will see,
Okay.
not C001.
Right,
Oh,
have it, right, that ID that was generated.
In step 3, yeah.
On 6, they said login as lender's email.
Right,
They
because
they said lender logged in with their email, is just one lender or?
it's a lender user, right?
But
Because
they said
lender,
Lender's email.
now lender's email
account. That
account,
was associated with that lender, that's where you're logging in.
yeah, not in the application,
But do
Arfloan.
they have to send it to the old lender?
Not all.
That's what it says there, it says login to lenders.
So you're
Like-
talking about a shared.
It's like when it-
You're missing an post office. that's all.
Okay,
Yeah,
here.
we're missing the comma.
Apostrophe, lender's email, okay, not lender,
They're missing.
Yeah.
lender's email, okay, that's what it makes it.
Yeah. that's-
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
Alright, it's small thing, but it does create confusion, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so lender logged into their email account and received the application notification, you know.
Here you need to be specific, notification for that application ID that was generated.
Yeah.
Not just any notification.
I think she put it on this side, right? Receive the email about, so verification comes here.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever you're doing here, that's needs to be
Yeah.
here.
Think around, test steps should be the actions you're taking there.
Verification
The
will go in
expected
there.
result is output and verification that you're observing.
Okay.
Okay, anything else anybody think of here? Missing? Everybody understand what they wrote?
So just a query, if it, you're saying that this is very generic, so if it's a specific one, the actual application number should be displayed, is that correct?
No, what you have is okay, note down, note down.
Yeah.
The application ID, right? So you're noting down whatever is generated ID.
Okay,
Then you are verifying in this tab, hey, this received application
But we are
ID.
verifying in the test step, not in the expected result.
No, you can't verify in the test tab. You have to verify in the,
Oh.
verification goes in the expected result.
okay.
Okay? Any question, anybody?
So they don't, okay,
What is that, Joyce?
yeah, I was gonna say, so they don't need, on the lender log into their email account and receive the notification. They don't need the email, like, the application ID?
No, they have it here, right? Email account and receive the notification, email of the application ID created in the step 3. So they are saying I have received the application ID notification. Notification of that application ID. In the step 3. So they are referring to the step 3.
Okay. Okay.
So I think this one is there, almost there, logically speaking, plus as you have more details, right? You can add as much detail as you want. I mean, it's up to you, but again, goes back to can somebody read it and follow it logically.
So note down means you have to note down the application ID.
Yeah, you,
Yeah, whichever we collect in step.
that's the word, right? How do you explain that? What action they need to do, for verification, in the verification. So you're gonna write down the note application ID that generated.
Now, what is the post condition? I haven't paid attention to post condition. So there are 2 post conditions, right? The first one is application is created successfully in the system.
Yeah, okay.
And then second post condition is the lender received the email for that application.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, if no question, then we can, I think this one is fine. You can stop sharing. Okay, anybody wants to share their test case? Everybody has different ones, so that's
So
what
then I
you.
remember to unshare your.
Yeah. You guys are, who is doing it?
Yeah. we can share.
Oh, okay.
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 Stop sharing.
This one is,
No,
oh, this is different.
she just sending me advice.
So where should I start from?
Yeah, stand on the top. Yeah, no, go up. Let's just see what you have to get right.
That's good.
Okay, so that's fine. You have to scroll down. Scenario, so module name, scenario, okay. Let's talk about title. Ability to search user by user partial name.
Partial username, it should be
Partial.
clear.
Partial username.
Now, are you talking about the name or what is it?
It's a name, like just first name,
Okay, then you say first name.
first name, right?
If you are saying the name, it gotta be explicit, right?
Oh, okay, so not partial, right?
Yeah.
So I have to use the first name, I have to change it here too.
I mean, I don't know, we are trying to figure out the intent that what is supposed to be.
Why do we put it first?
Whatever you're putting in, what Harshil's question is. What exactly you're doing it, right?
In the
For
steps,
the
right?
partial name, what exactly you're trying to give it?
Well, on the requirements is only by name.
Yeah, but we clarified it, right?
Clarified, right?
We already provided clarification. That it is first name, last name, all the 7
Right.
fields that we talked about, right? So what scenario you are testing? You are testing the by first name,
First
searching
name,
by
yeah.
first name only,
Yeah.
okay, alright.
The test summary,
Okay, so go back to in precondition, right?
because
Are you looking for a positive response or you're looking for negative response?
so search by first name, I don't know if it is negative or positive.
So here's the thing, right? Do you know that whoever you're searching by, that exists in the system by that name, or there's none?
Oh, there's exist, there's
Okay,
multiple user exist.
Then you should put that in a precondition also. Because if there is no such user in
Oh,
the
yeah,
system,
they're in the system.
If there is no user in the system, you're not gonna find
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah. Okay, gotcha, so, okay. User. User one exists or?
You are the tester,
first name you're searching.
Oh.
yeah, you are the tester, so you come up with your test data. User with name Bob Smith exists in the system.
User with.
User with name Bob Smith, right?
User
Name.
with name Bob Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. User with. Name. Yeah, Bob Marley here.
Yeah, you can say John Doe, Bob, whatever. Okay, so now you have 2 records
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
user,
Yeah,
and now when you search for it.
so this would give 2 results, right?
Yeah, you are expecting 2 results,
Okay, yeah.
okay?
So should I go to steps? Steps?
Yeah, let's go to step.
Okay.
So we understand step 1 and step 2, right? So go to the step 3, 4. Okay, step number 3, let's start with that.
So go to the search. Okay, go to the search bar, to search user,
Okay,
the search bar is displays,
well, does it say anywhere search bar, but I'm sure you assume, right? Because you don't have much information. Generally, you will work with the developers to identify what design they are putting
Oh,
together,
yeah.
okay? So, there will be a functionality area where you can go in,
Going, yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can say search bar or say. You go to the user search module,
search bar.
user search module, that's the way you can refer to it, okay? Because search bar is not a really terminology, right?
User,
Search module, because you need to go and access that functionality.
with the user. Search module.
Yeah.
That's right?
Yeah, and the
Okay.
user search module is
Okay.
displayed with the search functionality.
Search module displays, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So in search module. Should it be bar or module, still module? Okay,
I mean, you need to search for user, right? So
in search module.
Yeah.
Search
User by typing.
Parcel name bar.
now are you still doing partial name or what is it?
First name, I still need to fix this, I have to
Alright.
fix this, okay. So first name, Bob, and he enter,
Okay,
and expected result is. User Bob Smith and user Bob Marley displayed after searching by first name.
okay,
So. Here's something for you to think about, right? In the precondition, you just say the Bob Smith only exists, or did you say Bob Smith and Bob Marley?
both,
Yes.
both, yeah. Bob Barley and Bob Smith.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so Bob Smith and Bob Morley displayed in the search results after searching by Bob Smith. Yeah, this one, what you have.
Question.
Yeah.
In precondition, so you don't know if that, you're just searching before, so the precondition is before that action happened.
Yeah.
So before that search, so you don't know if this user exists or not, so do we have to still?
Well, you have to know. And if you, how would you create? That's your test data. So you have to know if there is no functionality to add user, they haven't built the functionality yet, then you have to write a SQL and upload basically create the data in the backend.
It's like the
Yeah.
What exactly?
person who is searching don't know if the user exists, but the tester should know it
Should know.
exists and.
And if it doesn't exist, you have to go create those users.
Create the data.
That's what.
This way, you
Yes.
what are you doing? You're testing whether the search functionality works or not, right? If you don't know if the user doesn't exist, and you search it, and it doesn't return a result, you don't know whether it's working or not.
Your job is
That's
to
why you
make
should
sure,
set the
yeah.
data to say, hey, if search was supposed to work as expected, it should return this to results.
Okay, so we can write test cases first. Wait,
Yeah, you're writing test case, right? The system doesn't exist yet.
right,
There is no system yet, right? You are writing while the developers are developing it, and I think we'll talk about it as we go through, I think the next thing. But when do you do what, right? So think which phase you guys are working on right now? No, I mean, test it, I know, but when this activity happens in your life cycle, right? You have this SDLC
yeah.
thing. So when does it happen? This thing.
This is your testing.
Designing, right? I mean.
In what phase of SDLC this activity is being performed by QAs?
Yes.
What phase?
Acceptance criteria. No.
And after,
Coding maybe?
no, after the
Analysis.
development of the software,
So what's the first I think
planning.
So.
planning.
here's What I would just
So
say.
you're talking about
Now, get-
SDLC, right?
Yeah, SDLC. SDLC, software development
Oh,
lifecycle,
yes,
right?
yes.
So you start with planning,
Yeah.
requirements,
And
design,
Development,
development, what you have, testing,
yeah,
maintenance,
yeah.
our UAT, and then maintenance,
Yeah.
right? Acceptance test and maintenance.
Yeah. maintain.
What phase, those are phases, right? When you are going to be writing the test cases, in which
The
phase?
testing.
Developing, I think, because we are giving,
No, in the
No?
testing
Testing,
phase.
after development, we
You're
have
doing
to.
the testing.
Pull up SDLC lifecycle, they didn't pay attention.
I know, it's a tough thing for them.
Yeah.
Alright,
So analyze.
so
This is SDLC, right?
this is SDLC, right? Software development lifecycle.
Okay.
You remember SDLC?
yeah.
Yeah.
There was another cycle,
Yeah.
right? What are the phases of this SDLC?
We have
Design.
designing.
Acceptance criteria,
Testing has again test planning,
Planning,
test planning.
You
then
have it in your book.
test designing,
Yeah.
then.
Okay, so I think you guys mixed up, right? But we are going to spend some time on it anyway today, so let me just quickly review. I think we still have one more team to go, but let's see what happens. Or we can come back to this one. Okay, to see what activities you do, it's important part for you. Okay, after we,
Design, right? I mean,
so you guys are saying it happens here on the design phase?
like we
yeah.
created the scenarios and we.
Yeah,
create the
first we are
test cases.
creating the scenario test case
And
and
then
we are giving it to developer, right? And then they are.
You are not giving anything to developers.
Sorry, they're not the business analyst who's.
No, but before the developer gives the product.
Let me
you
ask
have
you
to
a
have the
simple
test
question
case.
to you.
Okay.
You have all the requirements.
So,
You're writing this, you have the requirement.
Yes.
in which phase the requirements are created?
The analysis phase.
In the analysis phase, not planning. Planning. Do you guys even, are you guys even there?
Oh,
In the
no.
planning phase, you guys are not there, right?
Yeah.
It's a planning activity, like, should I even build the software or not? How many people we will need? And who does that work? BA doesn't do that work. BA doesn't even exist in the planning generally. I mean, they may help out a project manager. Generally, there is a PM and there are different, the higher level management team, they are looking at various software they want to develop and how much funding they have and all the planning activities. Right, so it's a PM and management, whatever, management team, they are looking at and figuring out, should we even build the software or maybe there are other opportunities, right? So once they say, yep, let's go ahead with this project, then they will get somebody engaged in the analysis phase. Now, who comes on board? Who has a main role in the analysis phase? Right, business analyst. Okay, and what is their job? To produce the requirement, work with the users and work, right, documentation. So they have a lot of activities to do, right? They run the talks to the user, runs the focus groups, conduct so many meetings. Hey, what is that you want? Right? So they come up with the requirement. Now, what is that your role here?
Our QA,
Yeah,
so. Yeah, there is a scenario testing.
He'll ask the question, tester basically asks clarifications about the requirements in this.
I mean.
so what is that you did? I mean, when we gave you the Arfloan document,
3CNT.
3CNT, right? So those things, you work it with the BA,
Right.
or basically they give you, hey, I have these requirements. Can you provide feedback? Or is there anything missing or whatever, as a team, right? So you have the requirement, so you review the requirement. And then provide feedback to BA, get clarification so that you can continue your activity. Right? Now, what is that you produce as part of this analysis phase? Do you produce anything other than the feedback?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We produce.
What is it?
Just scenario.
Scenarios.
Not test cases.
What is the third document I asked you?
What's the third document? So you added two.
Design document,
No, that's the second one.
requirement specific.
Test plan document, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So test plan documents gets created in the analysis phase. Okay? So, and who does that? Lead QA. And you might provide input for how much time it will take you to test this thing and what test environment, what test data and other things. You come up with a high level scenario as well, because you review the requirement. And then you understand, okay, this is what it's gonna take me maybe 30 days or whatever. And so that's a document that gets produced at that point. Okay. Now, what happens at the end? Requirements document gets handed off to the development team, right?
Yeah.
Dev team. So that they can start designing the software. Okay. In the design phase. So they produce the system design document or design document. And what is that you guys do in this phase?
The test cases.
You guys are not doing much, but what is that? When we gave you design document, what did we ask you? Read the document, try to see what are the discrepancy or what you understand, the architecture, how they are building it. Now, why you are reviewing? Because there might be other systems involved, so you might need to understand what you need to test from that standpoint. Okay, so you review the design document, and you will update your test plan. Okay, so if they are interacting with the other systems, you might have to plan for that interaction or interfaces and other things, other systems. The data flows between other systems, then you might have to update your test plan. Okay. Now, what happens in the, so let's say design is complete, software is done. What happens afterwards? Okay, what happens in the implementation phase?
Coding, maybe develop.
Right, so here the folks gonna actually start coding, developers. And what is your activity as a QA?
Can you implement?
Yeah, when they are coding, what do you do at the time?
Just wait for.
Test case.
Write the test, we'll write the test.
You actually write the details, whatever you are doing now. That's the actually parallel you are doing it over there. If the phase is 6 months, or if it's agile, then you might be working in parallel in 3 weeks iterations or 2 weeks iteration. Okay, so that's the activity. It will happen. The test cases, scenarios, detailed scenarios, whatever. Now you might start some activity while they are designing it, but this is where bulk of the work happens in the design phase. Okay, so you document these things, whether you do it on piece of paper or Word document or put it in the tool directly. Like we're gonna talk about Azure DevOps and Jira and other things. Okay, so once the code is complete, what comes next? Let's say developers complete the code and they say, oh, we are ready, our software is ready.
Testing, actually.
And what is that you're gonna do in the testing actually?
They execute all the test cases
Yeah.
that already created.
Okay, so it's an execution. Okay, here. Now, whether you do it as a QA, you might have other people doing it. We'll see, right? But when you say execution, what does it mean? Even execution.
The test.
So what are you doing when you say execute?
We are actually running.
We already have the test
we have
cases,
the
so
Test
we are
cases, we enter the
run.
data. And then.
So here,
It's working or not.
you're gonna follow instruction that you documented.
Yeah.
You have expected result. And then you're gonna fill up the actual result column.
The test
And then
cases-
you're gonna compare, hey, does the actual result is same as expected result or not? Okay, and then you're gonna say, yep, it's different, then you're gonna fill the step when you execute it. Otherwise, you will say, yep, this test passed, let's move on to the next step. Until all the steps are passed, you're not gonna mark the test case as passed. Okay, so that's the process. That's why you have this empty column when you are doing in the planning phase or documenting it. It's empty, but you're gonna start filling out the actual results as you execute the test case. Okay, does it make sense why we have this thing? Hopefully that's gives you some better picture for that. Right? And then once you execute and say, oh, now what else happens? What else happens in the execution phase? Here,
Finding bugs.
defects, right?
Defects.
So there is a defect process, and we will see when we actually look at the tools, how you can manage those defects and other things. Okay. So there is a defect management process that happens as part of it. And once you test everything and say, yep, software is good to go to the user for further testing. Okay, so you execute all 500 test cases that you wrote or your team wrote, and now everything passes, software is ready for the users. And users will actually do the UAT or user acceptance testing. Okay, so this is where user will come and do the actual business process type of testing end to end. They will log in and ask the dealer to actually log in sometimes. And dealer will submit that and it goes to the lender, and people will actually work through it end to end. The actual lenders and dealers and all those people.
I mean, real.
Real people. they'll be doing the work.
Before that going into the
Right.
market, they are testing.
That's right. They are testing it out, make sure the software is working as expected from the user standpoint. Okay. So with that, but it's important, when you are executing your test cases, you are wearing different hat. I need to log in as a dealer, I need to log in as a lender, in performing the similar work what they were doing. But then they might have different thoughts, because they say, oh, no, you logged in, you tested, but it's not working. It's supposed to be other way around. And so forth. So that's where UAT is very important. Plus their time is precious. That's the reason they hire you to do the testing before we give it to them. Because they're there for their job is not to test the software, they're to run the
They
business.
just wanna check the
Yeah.
software is
Yeah.
working.
Well, their job is to actually get the customer, help the customer work with those people. So they'll identify maybe 5 dealers and 5 lenders, and not like 50 dealers or 50 lenders. They'll work with a subset. Okay, so once they complete, once they say, yep, there are no defects or there are minimal defects, we can work with it, they'll put it in the production at this point. Okay, and the software goes to the production, and then minor bug issues, they fix it in the maintenance phase. And then if, let's say they come back and say, I want to add a new feature for basically some major functionality, and they follow the life cycle again. Start from here and come back here. That's the reason it's a circle. It's SDLC, software development lifecycle. Okay, so hopefully you have to understand this part, bigger picture, in order to answer the interview questions as well. Okay, I mean, this is the important part. And now you started small activities, right? We let you read the documents. You might be reading the agile type of thing where you are reading the user stories, which are nothing but the requirements, but the small piece. But then we are here. Test cases, writing the detailed test cases. We haven't done anything on this part yet, right? Execution, that we will see basically as we go, and so forth. We haven't done any defects yet, which we will work through as well. Okay, so that's the overall process. That's what you guys need to understand and work through. All right. Any question or anything?
My question is,
What?
you know what I was gonna ask, did you record it?
Yes, I recorded it, and we'll get you. You have the diagram. Okay, it's already shared in the shared folder, so you have it. Okay, so this is the diagram. Yes, it's on the shared folder. It's not printed out, but it's on the shared document folder.
Okay.
If it's not there, I'll share it. Okay, so don't worry. I think it's somewhere here. If not, I'll make sure you have the diagram. If it's not there, I'll put it out.
Because we are, we need to review over and over to get it.
All right, I just put it out. Okay, under exercises folder, you have this document. I don't want to share the PPT, but
Is that exercise folder?
Yeah.
yeah, it's under exercise folder. Okay, Arfloan SDLC document, you have it basically. All right.
So I'm question, is
Why
company
is it
still using SDLC or as a?
SDLC will always be there.
I don't have any exercise folder.
It's a software development lifecycle. Now, whether they use Agile to implement the SDLC, or it's a project methodology, right? Agile. Or they do waterfall, or they do rational RUP and those things. But you have to follow the SDLC.
Yes, yeah.
Whether you do it in a big piece of chunk or smaller piece, which is Agile. Right, building functionality incremental. Okay.
The big case is the waterfall, is that what you mean?
The waterfall project methodology versus Agile project methodology, right? They're different. And we'll talk a little bit about Agile because most of the tools are based on the Agile process. Okay, so we will go through that, I think next session or whenever we get a chance, so. Okay, so let's come back to our this thing now. Hopefully this gets you idea now, bigger picture, right? What we just discussed. So let's come back to the 13. And you can stop sharing.
Oh, are we done?
No, your team is done, but we still need to review that. Now, since the question was there, so we thought, okay, let's just discuss, make sure you guys understand what you are doing,
Yeah.
so that it gives you some idea.
So. We did it one, but as you were reviewing these two people,
Okay,
we got a little confused, we needed some clarification, but we'll just go through what we have.
yeah, let's go through what you have. Yeah,
Get our question answered. All right, so we were working on,
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
sorry.
And then let's talk through the requirements that you have. Calculator, right? Positive. test.
Yes, positive test case for calculated,
okay, so your test title needs to reflect that.
this one.
Yeah, what you wrote is the ability to calculate loan payment is more like a requirement, but what exactly your test case is? You
We
need
put it
to,
in the test title, ability to calculate loan payment.
But that's the requirement. What scenario are you looking at?
What scenario you're looking at?
Calculate Loan payment when a positive principal amount is provided. That's the
Okay.
test title.
And where would that be, the module name?
no, title.
Test title.
Title needs to be very clear because people will look at the title and say, oh, what is your test case? This is what you are doing in
So
the
it's
test.
the test title and the scenario would be the same, right?
Yeah, scenario, title would come from the scenario,
Yeah.
what exactly activity you are doing.
Yeah, the positive, yeah.
Yeah. Positive amount is provided, now it's clear to me.
Yeah.
Okay, you are-
Negative.
So we don't need project name, it doesn't matter,
What?
the project name doesn't matter.
Project name is, it's in the template, so it doesn't matter in the tool, they will have project created, so everything will be created under that project anyway. Okay. All right, Thomas, let's go.
Yeah, so, our precondition, dealer exists who has a dealer user,
Okay,
and then we'll just put the dealer user as username one. And then an applicant has also requested for a loan amount of $100, we just
Okay.
use it for testing purpose.
So,
precondition, you put it,
question is, remember, it's a precondition, what is the state of the system? Not where you're in the process, right? So, the application request for the loan amount $100, that's your data, right? That's not your precondition.
that's your test data. This is the data you're gonna supply when you test the loan calculator functionality. So you don't have to put it here in precondition, it's not a precondition.
So just
Okay.
dealer exists is enough.
Yeah, dealer exists is enough because what needs to be in the system so that you can continue your testing, that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, I don't have to correct it once I'll just go through. So.
Yeah, you need to remove that precondition. Alright,
Okay, dependency, I'm not sure.
yeah, there is no dependency, you are not depending on any system, anything other than Arfloan, so you are good.
Validating dealer users' ability to calculate applicants' loan payment based on predefined calculation.
Okay.
Now, that summary. What you're talking about is also should reflect what test scenario you're trying to do.
Which is
Yeah, it's a
different.
more detailed, test title is more like a title, right? But here you can actually put the calculation if you want, summarize, what is it you are gonna test.
Test summary should be a detail. Test
Detail.
title is a brief summary of what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So, so that's this, right? So it's validating dealers' ability to calculate applicants' loan payment from positive amount. Right? Because that's what you're doing. On a predefined calculation of 3%.
of the, yeah, whatever calculation we gave you, right? So you can put the actual calculation if you want. So if somebody is looking at it, they know what to test. Basically, or how this.
3% of principal amount. No, 16 months. Because remember what he said.
We clarified you. Yeah, we clarified you the requirement, right? So hopefully you guys wrote down. What was the
So 3%
calculation?
of the amount.
3% of the loan amount, right?
Yeah, that's what we changed.
So you don't need the time here, like 3% and then
Go back
6%.
and replay the last third, not the
Yeah.
one, the Thursday past, the Thursday before that.
We already clarified you this requirement.
Yeah, okay.
We said it's gonna be 3% of the loan amount. That's the calculation you need to use.
Yeah.
You can't reuse it from the anything other way around.
It's 3% of the loan. Right. Don't you still think it's confusing?
I'll get it.
No. So requirement document includes the old requirement. Or the requirement, which we had a good discussion on that. And we clarified it, that requirement is not complete.
So,
The actual calculation is supposed to be 3% of the loan amount.
Yeah.
So that's the requirement you need to use.
Okay, and we are still using the 60-month?
There is no 60-month. Maybe you missed the discussion then. When we were going through that on Thursdays.
Okay,
I think maybe Thomas is thinking about the time, when you say the 60 months. It's pretty.
yeah, because when you say the 60-month, I am thinking when you're calculating the loan, you don't just need the interest, you need how long.
The payment.
I think you missed the whole discussion then.
Oh,
We spent almost like 30 minutes, 40 minutes on the same requirement in one of the sessions. So, but this is the calculation you need to use.
am I the only one who missed that? Anybody here got it?
We have recording.
I'm just wondering. Okay. Alright, good then. So I just.
I think I have a question, but maybe.
Yeah.
So here, we just focus on the amount, forget about, and the interest rate, that's all that we need.
Yeah, that's correct.
We just focus on the-
Interest rate or the duration, because we already gave you calculation that will replace the interest amount and duration.
So forget about it. 6 months, interest rate.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the
Alright,
you go to the URL, you log in as dealer user.
okay,
Dealer user page will display,
okay.
and then you navigate to loan calculation page.
Mhm.
Loan calculation page is displayed.
Okay,
Dealer user will enter applicant's data.
okay. Why do you have applicant data?
What did you say? Okay, that's why I said when we were doing it, we got confused. Because right now, so there's a difference between loan calculation and credit application.
Yeah, that's a whole other functionality, credit application. It's a loan calculation. Remember what process wise, what happens when, right?
Yeah, that's why I made a comment in the beginning that we
Yeah,
got
okay.
confused that the loan calculation is part of the credit application. So,
But did you guys discuss as a team?
yeah, we discussed it too.
Okay.
So we wanted to
Both got
change it.
confused?
We wanted to change it, but later on we're like, let's just review it
Alright,
as a team first. Yeah, so what we'll do is dealer user will enter applicant's requested amount.
yeah, requested amount and
Yeah.
calculate.
Applicant requested amount.
As what amount you're entering, right? You need to be
Yeah.
very specific.
And click calculate. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and the system will display the initial amount.
so if it gives me $5,
You want me to change it to $5?
no, if it, you see,
Well,
it says the initial loan of payment amount as $5. Is it correct? Is it good?
Yeah.
no,
Because
What is 3% of $100?
It's three.
You need to be very specific here. If you say $100,
State the results. Okay.
yes, you need to say,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
yeah, it has to be very precise.
No, it's an expected result,
Okay,
The next one.
so system will display,
a monthly payment of $3.
Does it make sense here, everybody?
yeah.
Alright. If I enter $1,000, what should I get?
300.
300, right? So then whatever you're, depending on your test data, the amount will change.
And
What are you verifying?
So for 1,000, it should be 30.
30.
30, whatever.
So just make sure everything was.
Yeah.
That was great.
So is this enough, or do I have to like kind of write that $100? Well, we don't need that.
Where are you gonna
Like,
write?
I don't have to write that it's $100.
So you can write it, I mean, if you want, 100 multiplied by 0.03, but you already specified the calculation, so
Okay, I'm
who is
just-
reading your test case is fine, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. If
Alright.
we already did that in steps, we don't-
okay? And anything else you need in the test case? I think it's good, right? Because your verification is good and you're done at that point.
So it's
And
not
then
gonna.
the only thing I'll put in the test case is,
Login
applicant,
ID, right, user ID, application URL.
No, you don't need to put anything
No, no.
else.
Your test data is what? Your application URL, user ID and a password.
Yeah.
Because all
Now-
other information, you already put it in the steps. So you don't
Library
need.
user ID.
Okay, but
If you put it here, Thomas, if you put 100 over there, then you can, in the test data, I mean, in the steps, you can say refer to the test data, whatever amount.
okay.
But you don't want to duplicate or same thing or other.
You guys told me not to put it in the pre-condition.
It's not precondition, it's talking steps.
Steps.
That's two different things.
Okay, so
Right.
once we have it in the step, I don't have to put it in. the-
Yeah, you don't have to duplicate that. Yeah, you can either put it over there or there.
So the only thing I have to put here will be the dealer credentials, right?
An application URL,
An application URL, yeah.
because you haven't specified
Okay.
those in the steps.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
all right, good,
yes. Good.
all right.
How about post condition?
What's supposed to be post condition?
Did you change anything in the system?
Okay.
System calculates and displays something on the screen. I mean, there is nothing updated, no records or anything, so shouldn't be any post condition.
So I think dependency would be the calculator. You need a calculator, right?
No.
Calculator,
Dependency is-
if I have a system and if I use my calculator,
I think the dependencies are predetermined conditions, right?
what? No, it's a,
There's no dependency.
there is no dependency.
Okay.
The system already.
Think around it, do you need anything else other than the
Okay,
system to
then-
do that?
No,
Okay, then there is no dependency.
okay.
The person.
Okay. All right, so is everybody clear?
I did that.
Any question on this? All right,
How about the interest rate? So.
again, you you gave me the calculation, why are you worried about interest rate?
Okay, so 3% of the $100.
Any amount,
$3.
any amount.
So am I gonna show different when they add the interest rate? Am I gonna show $4?
But we are not adding interest rate.
Using that entire calculation,
This is the calculation for monthly payment. It automatically calculates the 60 months time frame
So result. can
with the
be different.
whatever
Yeah,
interest
if
rate
you
is
put
there.
a different amount, result
Yeah.
will be
Different, yeah.
different, yeah.
So is it the lenders that determine the interest rate in this context?
It's a dealers or lenders, whatever they work out the arrangement, but the system will calculate based on this calculation.
Okay, okay.
now, if in the future, they may change the requirements, say, hey, I don't want predetermined calculation. You will need to provide this to parameters and based on this to parameters, use this formula to.
Yeah. And it could be in the future, one lender said, I can give you 4%, 3%, so it could be dependent on lender as well, depending on who they are assigning application. Yeah, okay.
Alright, you want to stop sharing?
Yeah, stop there. Okay. All right, so is everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, so now there'll be more work. You always have test cases because remember, this is the core of the bulk of the work you are doing as a QA. If you don't understand, if you don't spend time on it, there is other tools and technology that are just of no use. Okay, if you don't know how to write a test case, then you probably won't be able to answer any questions in the interviews. Okay, because this is the core of the work. So you will always have homework here. All right. And I think this time we'll get you some more work on the additional test cases. So I think we already picked out certain requirements here. I think I'll send you 3 more requirements, separate ones. Okay,
We come up with scenarios.
scenarios and 1 test case for each of the requirements.
One,
Okay.
okay.
And you can work as a team or make sure your team member reviews it, right? And work as a team. We have seen in the past, you can set up the Zoom meetings with your team members and work it out. Okay, separately, other than Thursdays. I mean, if you want to meet outside, basically on the Zoom call, you can do that on your own.
And just one thing I would recommend, like Arfloan said, that he's gonna give you 3 requirements, as a team or individual writing, right? My recommendation starts writer than.
Individually.
Okay.
Then compare it, see who everybody else is, yeah,
That makes sense.
okay.
Because
Yeah,
it's
somebody
important
will
that
give
not
that.
just one person learns in the team, each one of you learn.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
so we don't have to depend on each other, so be independent.
Yeah, they will provide you feedback and you can change
Right,
it,
right,
yeah, review it, and they might learn from you what you wrote as well.
Right.
So the
So,
way I said it, right?
Yeah.
You write it completely, give it to the other team members
Okay.
without saying what you've written it.
Okay,
If they can figure it out and understand that,
okay,
then that you are on the right track.
okay, got it, yeah.
okay, so that's the homework part, okay? But I wanna, before next session, I wanna do something else here. You all have Outlook account,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay? So we need to set up something, okay? We need to set up something, so I want you to log in and follow my instruction here.